2, 3. Okay, boys and girls, this is Jim again from the Broom Cupboard, and I was talking about Herakalis and how about, moving on, I suppose. Before I tell you about moving on, I'll tell you about an incident that happened in Herakalis before I left, and perhaps the reason I got posted. I'm not sure about that, but you tell me after you listen to this. I told you about the B-70 tower, which basically was a tower probably about 60 feet high. The bottom section of about 10-15 feet was put up on its own, and the other section was winched up on that. Anyway, we got to a stage where it was decided this would come down for whatever reason. I don't know, in the army they'll tell you these things, but and so they sent a foreman a signal to a staff sergeant to oversee this process. Now, in this signal, the Royal Signals, which I was in, I was attached to the RAF, I was in the Royal Signals. Foreman of Signals is someone who's top-notch technical-wise, and sort of guides all the technical aspects of whatever job's being done. Anyway, he had experience of installing and deinstalling these B-70 towers, so he came along to tell us what to do and assist. Now, the top section was dead easy. Just unbolt a couple of bolts, pulled it over, and bolt the winch the other way, and just winched it down. Easy peasy. Took it away, no problem. Now, the bottom section, the 10 or 15 feet left, different kettle of fish. What you had to do, you had to undo some bolts, put some poles up with hooks on, and then lift these things down. Well, this was a recipe for disaster, of course. And I'm at one end of this pole, the foreman signal was at the other end, and there's all the other cross section. Of course, it's obvious what was going to happen. My end slipped off, swung down, knocked him on the head. Blood everywhere, sort of thing, gash in his head. So took him off to the infirmary, wherever that was, and bandaged him up. He turned up next day with a bandage right around his head. And of course, I wasn't exactly flavour of the month with him. I mean, it was an accident. I mean, it's one of those things that happen, but things that accused me of being not deliberately, but that funny look in his eye. But these things happen, and they certainly happened to me, I tell you. It's almost like Great Lord Sod is up there and deciding, I'm going to get you, Crips. No matter what you do, you're going to be got. And I don't go looking for danger or do dodgy, dangerous things. Danger comes looking for me. Throughout my life, there's always happened, something's always gone on that wouldn't happen in normal life, I don't think. Normal people go into an office and do 8 hours work in a day, walk out, go home, see their wife, kids, whatever. With me, it's a bit different. Things happen. Sleeping through, tornadoes and, whatever, earthquakes, all sorts of things like that happen to me. People firing bullets at me, and not in war, we're talking about peacetime here. Anyway, we'll talk about that later, but I just thought before I went on about moving to Pergamos, which is my next post, I'll tell you maybe the reason why. One of the other things that happened while I was at the Herakalis was that the guys decided to have a tour around the island on a bus. So there's several RAF guys, 2 or 3 of us, Signals guys. Bus was hired and went all around the island, which in them days you could go right the way around. It wasn't partitioned in the middle. This was in 1959. I was 18 at the time, by the way. Anyway, we went around the island in more of an island pub crawl than anything, I remember rightly. It seemed to take ages. Well, it did take ages. It took all day, basically. A long, long day. When you've had a few beers here and there, by the time you get back here. And that was that. And then they decided, out of the blue, to send me to Pergamos. Pergamos was situated near Dequilia, in the southeast of the island, I suppose you call it. Near that place called Ias Nikolaos, where the discoing goes on these days. In them days, it wasn't like that at all. It was just a tiny little village there. Nothing really, not even a proper road into it. Just a track of dust and dirt. Pergamos was probably about 3-4 miles from the Gilead garrison, outside the sovereign base area, but well, that's neither nor there, is it? So that's where I was sent, and I went there in the back of a Land Rover, normal. That was the mode of transport in them days. And when I got there, I found out it was quite a decent place. Nice brick buildings, four of us to work to a room, nice and comfortable. Nice mess. So it was the job, total. Communication centre about 3/4 of a mile down this road. The road was inside the camp, by the way. And I think what was happening there was the RAF was sort of intercepting Russian broadcasts, but the RAF people would never talk about it. They were sworn to secrecy. They never talked about what they're doing, but we knew anyway what they're up to. Some things come out anyway. But I'll talk more about Pergamos later. And this was about the first time I was able to take a few shots with a camera. I bought a camera just as I got to Pergamos, so you might see a few shots in one or two of my next videos, and you might be surprised. Anyway, so I'm going to leave this here and behave, if you can, that is.